What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sesh. Rob.
What's up, everybody?
What's happening?
What's going on? So we got some special guests here. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Tyrone Vaughan.
My name is Julian Ramirez.
And I am Robert Rodriguez.
So what are you guys up to? Where are you coming from? I know you guys play music, so you must be into some type of trouble or something. No? It's too early?
You can say we just got out of the studio.
Okay, there you go.
The studio, just producing, recording.
Get a little closer to the mic.
Recording, producing at the studio, and is this good here? Sunday. Yeah, you're good. So talk to me about how y'all came together. Now, mind you, we just met each other, so I'm a complete novice at where you guys are coming from, and real talk, I don't know shit about any of you guys. So if we're gonna hang out, somebody better start talking to me.
Educate him.
Right. To build it up on how he came upon us, I guess we have to start going back to like how Indigo Sound Co. came out, and it was very much, you know, my personal studio being revamped to offer services to the Valley and do tracking, music tracking. We help with, you know, all audio aspects, video stuff, and content creation, as well as like branding and imaging for artists. And so that came like born out of the pandemic because, you know, me and this guy quarantined together in the studio, and then just, you know, made improvements to it, got the stuff we needed for it. And I feel like a lot of people all across the world were doing the same thing. You know? Yeah,
everybody's confined to that spot that you had to.
You're forced to create in your own space. Yeah, it's crazy.
We made lemonade out of the. But a buddy of mine says I made chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know, so it is what it is, man. Like we had to do what we had to do.
I won't eat that, but
well,
it was a good opportunity in that a lot of the discipline we needed to make those decisions were forced on us because of the pandemic, and so we went from playing every Saturday, Friday. This guy downtown, myself with my originals. I had just moved down from Austin to be with my family, my father and my mother, and we hit the floor running. And it's that moment where you're like, man, I have 3 album shelf, I have 30 song shelf, and it's because of X bands or X routines that we weren't getting to it, but they just catalyzed us. So it was a blessing in disguise, and yeah, man, we quarantined pretty.
So for many people that don't know, during the quarantine for musicians, it sucked balls, man, right?
Well, I mean, we all had to pretty
all
much
the venues were canceled. Yeah, everything stopped.
You couldn't have 6 people next to each other.
My hat's off to the dudes that went back out there and started playing even when it wasn't safe. You know, like my friend Charlie Garcia got the ropes with the stands, you know, that they have like at airports.
Yeah.
The show must go on kind of
Indigo
shit,
Sound
man.
Co. was born out of that, and we started gaining clients, you know, rappers, reggae bands, country bands, rock bands.
It's a little bit of everything.
And one day, old Tyrone stumbles in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm Tyrone Vaughan. I'm from Austin, Texas. I grew up in Austin music scene. My dad's Jimmy Vaughan. My uncle Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, wow, shit.
So these guys had a heavy influence on me, and all the way down here in the Valley, of course.
Well, absolutely, because
Texas.
That's what I grew up with. My dad listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan all the time. That was my introduction.
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
wow, I'm still.
I've been playing for about 25 years now.
Wow.
You know? And me and my wife got married. She's from the Valley. Like I said, I'm from Austin, so when we met, I moved.
All
down
the
here
best
about 8
women are,
years
brother.
ago. Yeah, well, I'll say
it's
that.
a double-edged sword.
case,
It's a double-edged sword. You're gonna get cut now and then, but all the best women, humbly, come from the Valley, man.
I second that. But anyways, so we came down here about 8 years ago. Or I did officially. And
Well, welcome, man.
Thanks, man. Had some kids and started a family down here.
Hell yeah.
But in the meantime, I've done a lot of touring around the states, international stuff, all over the world, really.
So you stumbled into the studio, Indigo Studio? Soundco.
Well,
Soundco.
because of the pandemic, my wife's like, man, go out there and do something because everything was shut down. So I was like, well, I'm gonna start writing, start meeting some musicians around the Valley because I know there were some spots happening, but
And that's how the collaborating started.
So through a musician friend of mine, a bass player, turned me on to Julian, went and checked out his studio. It was Mac. Then he had the great sound. He's a singer and songwriter himself. Same with Robert. Both of these guys can produce, sing, and write.
So just like that, the universe brought everybody together, and now everything's jiving.
Again, that catalyst. This is something we always had in us, especially. I mean, your experience really accelerated us. But Jules and I were just kind of waiting for this, and we hit it. And Tyrone, you needed a track, but then one of my favorite lines, he said, "You guys are the oldest. You guys are the youngest old souls I've met, because my father raised me with Marvin Gaye, Chubby Checker, Frank Sinatra. That's Christmas music to me."
Yeah.
So when you walked in, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have to help you with leads or blues, man. Like, you come from the royal line, but Jules and I really bring in the arrangement and hooks
And the creative aspect as well.
So talk to me about what is the sound you guys are creating? Because again, I don't get out a lot, and I'm stuck at home and shit.
I'm primarily a blues player,
Okay.
It's blues rock. And lately we've been leaning on the Motown, soul, rock. But it's just new material from me. So in that sense, it's just going to be a soulful rock sound.
It's always been really astounding to me, man, and like it's always floored the shit out of me when I hear intros like for whom the bells toll,
Right, classics.
and yeah, just I hear this music and you hear these intros, and how they come together, completely different strangers, man. They have the same common goal and the same vision, and to hear it, yeah, dude, it's literally it's as cool as fucking birth, like you're creating something from nothing, just from
canvas.
just from opening up to one another and kind of talking. And so shit, man, I'm super interested to hear what you guys are coming up with.
Yeah, it won't be long before we have something out that you can just stream. But we are playing a live show at Simon Says here in McAllen, Texas.
That's what, on the 23rd, right?
Yeah, Saturday 23rd.
Oh,
we're gonna
badass.
be playing some of the new stuff that we've created here the last year.
Badass.
Also paying some homage to his influences and his family.
Old Texas roots for sure.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
You'll hear it at least on the solos and the bridges, man.
It's a pretty big rock show.
Badass.
So everybody here instrumentalists. We got vocalists here.
We're technically
I
on
play
front.
a little bit of everything.
Okay.
That's what kind of leans into the producing side. I got influence in the drums, the keys, guitar, bass, vocals, and then I play a little trombone. Sad.
He's a Dave Grohl, man.
It's getting in it. Yeah.
You never seen him perform?
No,
Dude, you need to see this guy
man.
perform, man.
I need to check it out, man, because
Yeah, so we're all playing Saturday night.
this Saturday,
Yeah, the 23rd.
on the 23rd. Okay,
But they're in my band.
Yeah.
He's playing bass and he's playing
I'm playing
keys.
keys.
They both sing backup.
nice.
And then they're going to play their sets.
Yeah, our sets will go after rdzelec, which is his,
Bad
and
Hat.
then Bad Hat, which is mine. And then we also have Lizette Marie featuring Jason Alvarez opening up for us.
Badass. I talk to you about this, Rob, all the time when we're listening to certain music and we're under the influence. I talk about like what would it been like to been there when these guys are creating
Yeah, to be
music,
a fly on the wall, man,
and
just
also
watching them.
the energy of the band, like the synergy of the band. Like I've played music in the past with my boys, and there's you have that togetherness. Like it just feels good, and the music comes out better. Is that the same synergy you guys have?
100%.
Yeah,
That's the way I would
come
describe
check it out.
I imagine it doesn't work unless you have it, right? I mean,
Absolutely. You don't
am
wanna
I
spend much
right?
time if it's not flowing.
Yeah,
His own
yeah.
talent to be able to not just perform, not to just to write, but to mediate. I don't play drums as well as Jules, but I can speak drums.
Yeah.
Growing up with drummers, whatever I can't play on a lead level guitar with Tyrone, I will lyrically break down the guitar because they sing on the guitar. That's what I'm.
Oh, definitely.
That's what
It's good to listen to other people's ideas and see what we can put together, you know? And
Those instruments become extensions of you guys, man. Like I've seen it happen. I've been playing the guitar for like 14 years and I still suck. So
you got to work at it.
Yeah, like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, fill up, exactly. So to watch people who have that diligence and who have learned it and mastered it and watch them become one with that instrument, man, that's where it is, that's kind of where
But there
the
is
shit
a
is.
difference.
You can't fake it.
Yeah, but there is a difference when you've grown up with it. Like your dad does it or your family does it.
Oh, my God,
that's
I
just
can
a
imagine.
whole different level
Yeah,
because
there's no way out.
there's no way out. It's like you're forced into that life.
1,000 times more pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, it's feeling like a pressure cooker. Like the first time I went out and played, I played in front of like a large
Stevie's
crowd.
boy.
like 3,000 people, and I played. I started the song in the wrong key. That was my first introduction
to the world.
Yeah, that's right there.
But that's you might as well get all the fuck ups out of the way early in, man.
It
Like
never ended. So 25 years go by, and
it still happens.
yeah, that's how you get those. That's how you get your wings. That's how you get your stripes.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And the name you're toting around, man, like there has to be. All of us have fathers or uncles or somebody who's given us some kind of something to live up to, So I can't imagine dealing with that. And then you go up there and people are expecting something, and then what they're there to see is you, regardless of what the name is. So that has to carry its own turmoils, man. I mean,
it's crazy. I mean, my biggest fan was Stevie. When I was a kid, he gave me a couple of guitars. When I was 5, when I was 7, he came to my birthday, and he was like so excited because the guitar he found had a small neck, and I was going to be able to start playing on it.
The fuck out of here.
Is that your fondest memory of him?
Yeah, this is like Jimmy's Boy's going to play.
Wow.
So that's the big inspiration, that you have a spiritual connection. Even though I was about 17 when he passed, his music is still here. Everyone still feels him. And so that never really goes away. And then my dad, when I was about 19, 20, he gave me a couple of guitars, and he started showing me my first licks, And
it was off to the races.
Here we are,
with,
man.
with those two guys behind you like that.
How do you,
It's pretty awesome. Now, I did get addicted to playing like all of us do. I mean, I love to plug in. You never get over that feeling of plugging into an amp, turning it up, and then there's like more than 10 people sitting there waiting to go. That's a feeling you could live on forever. So I got to make my own way. That's for sure. The name kind of gets me in the door, and then I think my performance can kind of keep me there.
Absolutely. Well, the talent wouldn't be anything if.
I'm sitting here wondering, giddy, like, what does that feel like, man? Like, I know a bunch of you guys artists, and there's Elias and Greg, man, and I'm passionate about music. I love music, man, and all genres of it, from fucking Nina Simone to Vicente Fernandez and Bob Seger, and like we can go on and on. Yeah, man. So I'm passionate about music. I love to watch people perform, and it's such a cool thing, man. Like I envy those who are drawn enough to it to make it a part of their life, to go out and to perform for people. Shit. Yeah.
I think one of the coolest thing is performing in front of different audiences. Like when we were in Iowa, Dubuque, Iowa, like there's so many different people out there, man. And they come up to you and they shake your hand. They make you feel warm and welcome. And they
that's
make
because
you
made them feel warm and welcome, man. You're playing for them in such a manner. And they make that when they come up to you, they're enamored by what the entertainment that you offer them. That trance you put them in.
It comes down to performance.
Yeah, so people aren't walking up and trying to hang and meet people that they know didn't really hit the spot, right? It's just
right,
like
right.
so.
I'm sure but I don't know if he knows that Josh is actually a pretty badass drummer.
Oh, thank you very much. Man. Appreciate it.
Oddly enough, I've never heard him play.
It's because whenever we're here, we're always just working on something else.
We need to get a drum set in here.
Dude, we'll drive all our neighbors crazy, man.
Let's start getting together, man.
We're gonna have to do something, man.
Absolutely, man.
If I may to your question of what does it feel like, we've all felt it. When it's a good show and performance, it feels like family, because we're performing as artists for the crowd. But especially Tyrone can speak to this with going like to Spain and Brazil, and the crowd is our performer.
Yeah. And
I can have a good show, but even if the crowd is small, sometimes it's just the bands and their girlfriends or their boyfriends. That's what's making me entertained. And I've been doing it since I was 13, so I will pick up on, wow, everyone moved. Whoever had their arms crossed, undid them during the chorus. Whoever didn't have their arms crossed, crosses them. And I don't know what it meant, but
you noticed,
noted. Everyone at once moved. Hips, fingertips, whatever, something moved. But everyone becomes family, and as much as we're performing for people, the beauty of the rock and roll, one of the few old American pieces we have is the crowd is entertaining us too, and that is the feedback.
Yeah, no, that's the symbiotic circle there, man. That one is feeding the other. It's super cool to see, man. From little one man bands kind of thing at restaurants to huge concerts. Anybody who is out there putting themselves in front of
that's a skill and a talent. I mean,
yeah, man.
I just got back from Spain, right? I was doing a week of shows, like 6 shows. Well, I missed the first show and the first rehearsal, right?
Okay.
Plane delay.
I had to drive to Austin.
Listen, so I finally get there. Just got to jump on stage, no rehearsal with these guys. Half of them don't even speak English. So I send my set. It's half covers, half originals. The covers are some Stevie, some Jimi Hendrix, right?
Nice.
Some Texas blues rock. And then my stuff, which is some heavy hitting rock and then some soulful, you know, Motown type stuff. But, you know, I get there, the first show we play is in this small little nothing of a place. Sound is horrible. They're having issues. You know, things are coming and going, buzzes and everything. Doesn't matter. The crowd's there getting drunk. They're loving it.
They're loving it.
Jet lag. Can barely remember my name. Show gets done, right? Yeah. And so we play like that for about 4 more shows. And by the time we get to the end with the 2 big festivals, Santaco Blues Festival and Barcelona, I'm headlining it. I didn't really realize that I was playing such a big show.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm the main cat, bro. And I'm sitting there, and there's 300, 400, 500 people in a nice theater.
Wow.
You hear a pin drop, and I'm playing. It doesn't matter what I'm playing.
Yeah.
Translation of music, they're ready to go.
Yeah, it
They're ready to
resonates.
dance. They're passionate. They're ready to party. It all sounds right to them. So it is amazing to go over there, and I was playing the songs that we wrote.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were translating beautifully, getting
Wow,
great
man.
reception. I'm like, okay, so
This
music
is
is
good.
a...
There has to be nothing better in the world when somebody sees something and invests the time in watching something that you've created or listen to, like our documentary.
Yeah.
Like it's super humbling whenever I get a message back about the documentaries, because I never get feedback from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if they're listening to your stuff and they're loving it, like, dude,
Yeah, but
that's icing on the cake.
And I get that, and that's fucking perfect. But you guys are getting it in real time.
Real time.
Like the gratitude is there immediately, you know, and the cheers and the applause and everything. You're well received. We have to sit on pins and needles to wait.
Wait for reviews
Like,
to come.
God damn it, man. Hey, bro, ain't nobody say shit all day,
I'm
man.
messaging
Like,
somebody,
Yeah.
hey, what'd you think? And then they never respond.
Create our own
Like,
fake accounts and
forget it.
praise
bro,
ourselves.
It's true. It's like this. Any other
Yeah.
industry,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it's good, it's good. And when it's down, you got to keep working. You can't get bummed.
Yeah,
know?
you can't get
You gotta
disillusioned,
keep your
man.
head down in a good way.
On
You just
that
gotta
note,
work.
there's a lot of musicians, like when I was playing, like we always think like next year we're gonna be here and we're gonna be here and we'll be here. It's always a humbling experience that life will give you back. And I know a lot of my musician friends kind of just like, fuck, man, like when is it gonna be my turn? How do you keep going and how do you keep creating and keeping your spirit up? Because I think that's super important for people to understand that you just don't stop.
Without losing the enthusiasm.
I've heard a lot of cats say the same thing. We just didn't stop, right? We kept playing. And that's different for everybody. How do you
Yeah.
find the drive? But man, yeah, you can't stop. That's for sure. Easy to bow out of this industry.
For
It
me,
really
it's,
is.
Just practicing discipline, you know. And if you have your discipline in line, then when the motivation's not there, the discipline kicks in and gets you in the studio anyways. And you know you have to muscle through it. And yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of no's, more no's than. And it only takes one yes.
Yeah.
But it's a sea of no's that you have to fight through and navigate through to find out what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, until you finally start clicking up. You know.
You know what I've noticed is a lot of people won't ask. They won't ask for a no or a yes. So they're just sitting there. They're sitting there
assume-
hoping
yeah, they assume.
that the world's going to come to
listen
them.
to the feedback that someone may be giving them. It's
Yeah.
like, I would know, but pay attention to what the people are telling you.
Keep
Yeah.
pushing, like you guys are saying. Something my dad taught me is if ever you have a bad show, it was a great practice. So if it's a bad show, it was a great rehearsal. The only time you can be brave is when you're afraid. The only time you can be really good is during a bad show.
Yeah.
If you're nervous, good. It means you care.
Make it your friend, as Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges says. That feeling, you're not alone. So a cable goes out. Okay, now I know to use the warranty on that cable. Started on the wrong key. Okay, before I go up, hit the A, sing your first note. Okay, then walk up. So bad news is good news. When like Jules says, the discipline kicks in. And like Tyrone, my dad was a musician in the 70s too. So I have like, if ever you've seen Varsity Blues, it's like the football dad. It's like, oh yeah, you threw it well, but man, next time you better catch. You know,
Yeah.
One of my best songs I put out, the band Spoonfed. It's called Love So Big. I'm like, hey dad, we're Roosevelts. Hey dad, listen to the second song. I wrote it with what you taught me, and he gave me what I needed as a son, but he hits you with that football dad energy. He's like, I saw what you did. It's Earth Angel. I'm like, yes. Yeah, but he's basically like, the Broncos did that in '88.
It's a tough love because like sometimes when you don't get the motivation, that's motivation within itself. It's like fuck, man, nobody's on my side. Let me
And you
just
know what I
figure
think it
out.
is, man. Yeah, dude. I just think that our dads, generally, all of our dads, kind of, they weren't taught to give praise without criticism. You know, that's a generational thing that. Yeah, it's old school, you know. They'll give you praise, and then that praise makes them feel a little uncomfortable because they didn't used to get it. Sure. So what do? They revert to get out of that feeling. They revert to what they know. Yeah, you did a good job, but you missed the spot. Why? Because their upbringing is still, you know, is still part of them. So
we actually talked about that with Dina.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know, so yeah, no, I think a lot of our pops are like that, man. It's just innate in them. The best thing we can do is just kind of let it be in the past and do different with your own kids, you know.
That's it.
How's the support from the Rio Grande Valley for you?
It's been great, especially from artists.
It's also kind of hard to gauge since we're just coming off a pandemic and like just barely getting back into putting our live shows on. I'm changing gears from like for years I was playing in cover bands and doing a lot of that scene and kind of neglecting the studio because it was so demanding and arduous of a task to do, you know, 2 a.m. nights all the time.
Yeah.
So now we're getting back into producing, looking at it from the other end, from the inside the studio, going out and getting the music out that way. So at times I maybe be guilty of overlooking the Valley a tiny bit, because I just treat them like the rest of the world while we're trying to, you know, gain listeners and ears. But as far as the shows have gone, like they've been great. We've gotten support from local venues such as Simon Says, where our show's going to be. I've never seen him so excited.
Yeah, the guy, he's acting like he's 18.
I actually played Simon Says back in the 90s.
Wow.
My first band, Breed Love. Yeah, we were coming down to the Valley.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
I have not stepped into Simon Says in a long time. I'll be there Saturday.
Hey, it was a blast in the past. I walked in there just to check it out the other day. And,
there's no smoking there anymore, right?
There's no smoke, which is cool. They were smoking when I was playing in the first one.
They're smoking everything back then, man.
They really carpeted, right? So it's,
It still smells like the 90s and 80s.
it smells like rock and roll in a good way, and it's going to be fun, man.
It
It's
smells
got
like
that bowling alley bar kind of vibe. You know?
Bowling alley.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, no, I'm there. I've never been.
It's
I'll
intimate.
confess. So yeah, I'll go. I'll be there, man.
Oh, come on out, bro. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
I think.
To the support from the Valley, I just want to say, this guy, I mean, every time I was in San Marcos, Austin from like 2007 to 2017. Every Christmas or Thanksgiving or summer, I'd come down. This guy was playing Saturday downtown. So he put in his 10,000 hours, you know. So the fact when I moved down and I met this guy one-on-one, I think you caught some of my shows when I was like in high school. Yeah, when he was in middle school, he was catching me playing in high school.
Braver Madison.
Madison.
I got a shirt signed by all of them. Little kid me spent $15 on my allowance on a shirt from them, and I was like, "Will you guys sign it?" And then when we reconnected, when he came back down, I showed up to their like little hangout band practice, and I was like, "Check this."
I was like 17. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
you gave me $15 20 years ago. But it was an eye opener in that like there's also the mentality of you need to make it at this age or you didn't make it otherwise. No, it's constant. As soon as you get to
It's consistency.
Yeah, you hit 100%, you start back at zero.
Yes, right.
For the next level.
That's right.
But I've seen this guy go from cover bands to writing for schools and universities, like scores, and now I'm just blessed and grateful to record my rdzelec originals with him and support him as Bad Hat, as his bassist.
And produce Vaughan.
So guys, where can people find you guys? Like if somebody's looking, like I know guys who are trying to make it in the rap business, in the Latino rap business, and I got people who play the accordion and shit. They want to like record their own stuff. How do they like link up?
For Indigo Sound Co., my website is no, that's my email. indigosound.co is my website, and then you can find me straight Indigo Sound Co. on Instagram or on Facebook. My information's there. You can shoot me an email, call me, and we can set up a little tour of the studio, talk about the direction you want to take your music in, or if you want to do a voiceover recording or anything like that. Like we're equipped for that. So rehearsals, video shoots.
Badass.
Nice.
My studio is located inside my family's ballroom, La Antigua Revilla in Edinburgh, off of 107 and 10th. And then we also have a a prop room connected to it. That's my mom and sister's business, Distant Lands. So we're kind of like a music video factory.
Yeah. Oh wow. Now wait a minute. Where is this? This is on 10th Street and 107.
Off of 107 and 10th.
Man, I'm trying to picture it. There wasn't there.
Keep going.
There's like Rodriguez Tiles right there. 107.
Oh,
Type in the address.
okay.
Type in the
Long
address.
white building.
All right, I just like to get a visual. I'm sorry. I was like, wait a minute,
That's probably
man.
helping in the
I'll put the address on there.
Okay, all
Right
right,
there.
thanks. All right, thanks.
Let me ask you this: how important is, and I see this a lot, like with even creators, any type of creator, not even just in music or artist. How important is it to have an image? Because I feel let me kind of explain where I'm coming from. Like when I met Conquista, he kind of he's an artist that does amazing paintings, and I fell in love with the name Conquista. Like it just sounds
Right.
fuck, man. And that's when I started seeing like Julian always dresses a part, always plays a part, and that got me thinking. It's like I need an image. Like,
But I don't think Julian's playing the part. I think that's
He
just
is.
Julian.
Who he is. Yeah.
He's a wizard, man.
So
Like, you don't go home and take off and completely change
No, I
your
sleep like
accent. No, I was gonna say take off the persona.
He jogs. And
No, I was gonna say,
but I mean-
you don't peel off your persona.
But there is
Like,
a certain image that he exudes, like with the hat. It just looks cool. It completes the image. The glasses, it completes the image. How important is it for like when y'all are on stage, like to create that? I guess it's kind of like a barrier that you're not regular people. I think that's super important.
No, it is because it's part of the show, and it separates this show from that show.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to pay $20 to go see these guys, and I'm going to go over here and see these guys. Is there a difference? Yeah, they do a lot of things different. You know,
Yeah.
but you have to have some sense of style. It's just how it is. If you know, music is part of fashion. I mean, if you're sitting behind the desk and you don't really need to be out there in such a way, who really cares? But if you're going to get out there Hollywood style and be in front of cameras and lights, you got to bring a sense of style.
So no more Magellan shirts.
Whatever that
Today's the last day.
man, I tried to divert from this fucking conversation because of the Magellan shirt.
Some cats can put it together, and some cats need help.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be in the industry, you got to make sure it gets done.
No, that just lets me know this guy boats. Okay? It's its own thing, man.
Definitely do that boat.
I was gonna say, bro, doesn't boat, doesn't hunt, doesn't fish, doesn't.
But no, it's
Man,
absolutely right.
Listen, there's from Louisiana put out a lot of great music, and the Neville brothers is one of them. And Cyril Neville is the youngest brother. He's one of the main writers and singers, and I got to write some records with him and go on tour with him, and really got to learn a lot about music. Play guitar for him for a couple of years, and he's still out there. He's in his 70s. He's been on tour since he was 1964. You know, he's up in front of the Stones. He's done everything you can name it. He's done it. Anyways, they're playing Red Rocks. It's a couple of funk bands from New Orleans. You know, they packed that place out, and there's like three bands, and afterwards they have a big picture, and there's like 25 guys there, and it's all the band and all the roadies and everybody that makes it happen. And then right in the middle is Cyril, and Cyril's got the fly hat and he's got the fly duds on, and he's the only cat.
Did you see in the whole
Everybody
picture?
else, even the other band guys look like they're the roadies.
Wow.
They're shopping at Walmart.
Yeah, the headdress.
So it's just
Yeah.
like, it depends on what you're doing. And I wanted to just chime in, you know, like a troll, be like, is Cyril the only one that's got a sense of style?
Wow.
But I don't know. That's
I think
that's for every artist to come up with. If you can dream it up, because a lot of people are like, oh man, you're too flamboyant. Who cares what if it catches on? Then you got to live that. Then you got to wear that orange hat with the little pink thing in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like MGK, man.
You got to come up with the MGK.
Harry Styles.
Say what you
Harry
want.
Styles.
Just like what you're saying, he wakes up like this. A lot of this isn't thought; it's felt. A lot of my style, what I notice, like norteño, rancher, rocker, Texas, like.
Dude, I like that right now. It's not thought, it's felt. That shit was that was deep. That was good. I like that.
And that's really how
It's a
music
lyrical
works.
miracle.
Yeah, that should be a lyric, and I'm glad I was there during creative inspiration, because that was real shit right there, man. I've never heard that.
That's why Stevie was so good, because he was such funky style, right?
Yeah.
He had so much of it. And sometimes he put it together. It was the 80s. No, mine. But it was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, man,
It's
like-
different, but it stuck, and it was
Yeah.
cool. I mean, Stevie back then, before he made it, he would get a suit, and he'd wear that motherfucker every day.
Damn.
He would sleep in it.
Yeah.
He'd wake up and just walk out the house in it.
He's ready, yeah.
That's some like soul shit, all right?
Yeah.
Now, us, we're mindful of what we do, but you just, we're
Comes
not
with
so
the
hardcore,
territory.
but-
Yeah, it comes with the
You can
territory.
still catch me at H&D with basketball shorts and flops.
You know how many bars we go to in flip flops? All.
Dude, in the valley, you need to have shorts
Oh, dude, I
and
keep-
flip flops,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie to myself anymore, man. I'm gonna roll this up.
It's in the Valley Survival
We are
Kit.
pushing so hard. It's like intimidating, hazing me.
They know I wear rags in the studio. I don't even care.
It's a flip flop album. Okay?
Let me ask you this, guys. Now, marketing is what I love, advertising and stuff like that. I don't see too many bands out there or individuals marketing themselves. I think it's social media is literally right there. Like, I just don't get why people don't use the tools that are here. How do you guys use it? What do you suggest that bands should use, and why aren't they doing it?
It's a conversation. You don't just drop one thing. You drop half of something. A call and response, to use a language, music language.
I call it firing everything, full salvo, you know, all cannons, you know, whatever you can do, if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook. I know TikTok's a big thing, but like for promoting locally and getting people to your shows hasn't really been helpful. But just trying anything. I set up a website, even though the website is kind of dead.
But you got a phone call.
But I got a phone call last night. Somebody was like, I don't know how to make these tickets work. And I was like, well, I'll send you a link right now. But thank God that they found my number on that website, you know, old school style. And I sent them an email. You know, usually we send a direct message, but like some people don't do that. And they just work with email. So just like being present and aware of how many people can reach you or see you at any given moment. You know, a lot of bands, they think that it's all over when they recorded the song.
Yeah.
When they wrote the song. That's not even half the battle.
Yeah.
You know, you had to get people to listen to that song. It has to land on more ears and more ears for it to even hit that algorithm, start upticking, you know.
Well, you know what's interesting about that is somebody wrote that, because I'm always pushing the collabs, and they're like, well, yeah, you can push it all the time because that's the only thing you've ever done. And I was like, dude, are you serious? Like, we just started.
That's
like,
how they perform.
yes, exactly.
That's how they advertise.
So I was like,
They
dude,
have to say
They have to say that.
Yeah.
And,
Bro, who said that?
some
man?
dude.
They've seen that post a lot. It's stuck in their head.
I shelter you from all that stuff,
Thank
man. You don't need to
bro.
know
Man,
that.
That's
You guys
not
have
nice.
A post about time travel, Miss Texas, Iowa. I've seen this. So you can get out there.
But you're absolutely right. Like, once the album's done, it just started. Like, it literally has just begun. Like,
Talent is not enough. It's something my dad taught me, and that was hard to grasp. Son, oh, you're talented? Everyone's talented when you get to a certain level.
You got to start enough fire to where people just go, they think they need to be part of it. You know, it's bandwagon. It's like they hop on
yeah.
when they see that it's going somewhere.
Yeah, it's circulating. Yeah,
And,
especially through their friends.
But you got to see what's going on, what's happening. You can tell who's doing what, how much they're doing it. You know, and it's just tough to get enough business to get your calendar full.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to be there on the 29th.
Yes.
I'm already on the bandwagon just by hanging out with you three cats. Shit, I already feel a little bit more musical inclined. Like, I'm gonna go home and try to play the fucking piano tonight. Like, I'm learning. Yeah, I'm learning some instrument tonight.
Back to marketing. Dime con quién andas, te digo quién eres. Tell me who
Sure.
you're with, and I'll tell you what. You know, it's nice to work with good podcasters like y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man.
Merch.
Hell
Nice.
Yeah.
That's going up on the wall, man, because
No way,
we
dude.
can't split it, so we're gonna have to share it here.
When I see you next, I'll give you the bad hat one.
Oh, badass! It's funny, man, because
So you don't show up wearing the RDZ Electric.
I'm gonna drop a little hint here, but my wife and I and two dear friends are soon to open, God willing, here in McAllen, a little piano bar type, blues,
Nice.
jazz, no DJs, no, and it's gonna be called the Mad Hatter. So I'm telling you, dude, the bad hat at the Mad Hatter has a ring to it. I'm just
Put a
saying.
cot in the back for me.
I'm telling you.
Parking spot.
So we're working on putting it together, and you guys are definitely the type of venue that we'd be looking for, man. Like we want to see you guys there,
Yes, indeed.
definitely. So, shit, man, you guys are taking the bull by its horn, so to speak, here in the valley, man, doing the thing. I didn't even know that there were like studios here. Buddy of mine, pro, is super. That son of a bitch he inspires me, man, because I've known him so long, and he's never quit. He has his own merch now, and he's fucking rapping, he's traveling, he's doing his thing. And he's always going places to record, and it's like I'm in Houston recording, I'm in Dallas recording in the studio. I didn't know that there was like this is Prolific.
Okay, yeah,
Prolific. Okay, man, Pro and I go way back, way back, and he's doing his thing, and I always assume that he has to leave to go find, you know, studios and stuff like that. But lo and behold, you guys walk in, you guys have that stuff here in Edinburgh, man, and I didn't have no idea.
One of the greatest things about that is that there's so much talent here in the Valley. There's not too many places that will record you. So the ones that are starting out have the cheapest prices regardless. So right now is the cheapest time that you're ever going to get that price, like for podcasting. It's the cheapest time it'll ever be, because once they start getting musicians under the belt, new recordings, just literally like just the ump of it, like once you get that, the clouds, your price goes up, and then you're unachievable for most people, which is the goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is the goal.
Demand, you know? You get more demand, and then you have to like kind of weed out some clients price-wise, because you know you have to make it worth it for everybody involved. So
yeah, I find that super interesting, because right now is, well, I don't want to say cheap, but the most inexpensive is what I'll say. So take advantage of your local people from anything, like
for anything and
for
everything.
anything.
Truly. There was like what I call an art drought during the pandemic. I think you brought this up. Our hearts go out to the guys who came back. The men and women started playing. Comedians were especially in Austin. My brother's a comedian, Andres Rodriguez. They were the canary in the coal mine. So there was a moment when business did come back, but you couldn't have 5 people next to each other. So they'd have to sell tables of bubbles, and they could only have one artist on stage, comedians. They came in, tested the watch. So a lot of bars on 6th that were just rock, that were live performers, well, pivot, comedians, and then, okay,
interesting.
The crowd's wanting.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you blew me away on two different occasions right there when you spoke. You touched on a very important. These guys were the ones basically who nutted up and said, "I'm out there, man." These men and women, and I don't think anybody ever preaches or talks or even offers any kind of praise to them.
Well, it's because they're just doing what they had to do.
To get the ball rolling, man.
Sitting for a year on your ass is.
And the second thing that blew my fucking mind was you said they were the canaries in a
coal mine. They're the first ones.
God damn, man! I don't think I've heard that saying in ever. And wow, man, there's
wit right there, my friend. That's called wit.
There's pizzazz, man. We have a linguist here.
Sometimes
This dude is sharp. You guys better watch out. This is a lyrical genius right here. Yes, man. Canary in the coal mine was I think the last person that said that shit ever was 100 and something years old.
Probably read it in a book or something.
Yeah, man. But it doesn't matter where it picked it up. He retained it.
He retained it.
I with this guy like every day, and I haven't heard him say that.
Yeah.
He was saving it for today, man.
Well, dude,
Smell that.
let me tell you something, man. Our hats are tipped to all the canaries in the coal mines, comedians alike. I think we have a couple of buddies in Louis Cartoon and
Louis collaborates with us. God
Luis,
bless him. He's doing a lot right
I love Luis. He's the Cat's Pajamas, man, and he's been at the island doing his thing, and we've been out there kind of hanging out. And he had mentioned you guys to me once or twice, and I said, "Dude, you need
y'all
to
were going to work on an NFT, right?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is our NFT space. Josh and I create NFTs, and we invested, and we're a little embarrassed about it now, but hopefully it'll pivot.
I'm wearing these glasses to hide my tears, guys.
Just he warned me. Louis warned me about you guys, and when you said comedians right now, he popped into my head, man, because they were out there. I remember a lot of comedians were struggling.
Yeah.
now.
Musicians.
He was out there with Pauly Shore.
Yes, right. He's doing his thing.
Well, shit, guys, before we finish off the podcast, plug the show one more time.
Okay, so Simon Says, July 23rd, correct? Saturday, July 23rd. The show is from 9 to around 1 a.m. Tyrone's going to be going on at 10. He's not going to be playing at 1 a.m. We're going to play after him so that,
I'll be there in time.
Get a chance to
Come early.
and not have to stay too late. But if you want to stay late, there's us afterwards. Lizette Marie, Jason Alvarez is going to be there.
They're going to open the show.
Simon Says.
Yeah, so Lizette Marie, Jason Alvarez at 9, Tyrone Vaughan, and 10 o'clock, 10:30,
Evenbright.com.
Eventbrite.
That's where they get the tickets. Okay.
Eventbrite.com. Just type in Tyrone Vaughan at Simon Says, and it'll be the first one.
I'm
there.
so jealous, man, because they can at any given point they can be like, "Hey, Josh, come up and do a set with us or play." And
Are you trying to get me on stage?
I'm trying to get you on stage, bro. I've never seen him play. I've never heard him play. Haven't heard. I mean, it just kind of seems sensible. It sucks though because I wish I was at that caliber to be Robert. You bring your ass up here too, but yeah, no.
You got to realize I haven't played in a while.
We're gonna have to do something, man. We're gonna have to work it. Yes.
And this is one of our first Valley shows back.
Okay,
so,
cool.
You know, Tyrone just got back from Spain. We're gonna play Simon Says. Then he's gonna go to Brazil.
Oh shit!
Back, and we need follow-ups. So I mean, if you guys know arenas,
we're going to spread the gospel, man, about you guys and start telling people that they need to book you guys because it's gonna be killer. We're gonna be there on the 29th and we'll definitely
23rd.
Yeah,
23rd. Oh, we're going to the bullfight on the 29th.
Next week.
Okay, it's a Monterrey. You guys are welcome to come, man. We're out there.
rdzelec.
TyroneVaughan.net.
Guys, thank you all very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it, man. Very nice.
See you guys later. Peace.
Bye.